Trader's mockery ends as her fist crushes the cage. This savage will be my future husband. The market was loud, filled with alien voices, strange machines, and flashing lights. Traders shouted, offering exotic goods, creatures, and even humans. For sale, among the chaos, a human male crouched in chains, his arms raw, bruised, and sore from the cold metal. He had been captured days ago, dragged from his home, and sold as a worthless savage. He looked around nervously, watching towering alien buyers with sharp eyes and muscular frames. Their skin was unusual green, purple, silver shimmering in the market lights. The human tried to shrink into the cage, hoping nobody would notice him, but the attention was impossible to avoid. Worthless savage, only a few credits. A trader spat, his claws tapping on the metal cage. No skills, no value, just flesh and bones, perfect for weak buyers. The human's stomach churned with fear. His mind raced for an escape, but the guards were everywhere, and the chains were heavy. From the corner of the market, a figure appeared, towering, muscular, and strikingly beautiful. Her long, flowing hair shimmered like silver blue silk, and her glowing eyes fixed on the human. She moved through the crowd with confidence, her every step commanding attention. Even the traders paused, watching her approach. She stopped in front of the cage, her eyes narrowing, studying him. The human felt his heart pound. Was she going to buy him? Or was she going to let him die here like everyone else? The market seemed to hold its breath, waiting for her next move. Without a word, she raised her fist, and the air seemed to shift. Power radiated from her muscles, bending the light around her. In a single, shocking motion, her fist slammed into the cage, and the metal groaned and bent under her strength. Chains rattled, sparks flew, and the human stumbled backward, shielding himself. The traders shouted in disbelief. Impossible. She cannot. But before they could react, the cage shattered, falling apart like it was made of paper. The human stared, eyes wide, as the alien girl stepped forward, towering over him, her chest heaving, but calm, controlled. "That savage," she said softly but firmly, "is my future husband." The human's jaw dropped. He could not understand her words. His mind raced with confusion, fear, and disbelief. Why would a powerful alien want him, a weak human, for herself? The traders recovered quickly, anger flashing in their eyes. "You dare interfere with our sale?" One shouted, pointing claws at the girl. "You will pay for this insolence." But she did not flinch. She stepped closer, muscles coiled and ready, her gaze unwavering. The human hesitated, unsure whether to flee or stay, but escape seemed impossible, and something in her eyes told him she could protect him, or destroy anyone who tried to harm him. His pulse raced, fear and curiosity twisting together. "Move aside," she commanded, her voice carrying across the market. Traders tried to resist, but her strength was undeniable. One by one, they backed away, leaving the human standing there, chains broken, free for the first time in days. The human's knees shook, his arms weak, but he stood, staring at her. I don't understand," he stammered, his voice barely audible. She looked at him with intensity, but also with something he had never seen before, a flicker of respect, maybe even amusement. "You will learn," she said simply. "Do not run, do not hide. You are under my protection now, and you will follow me if you want to survive." The human swallowed hard, nodding, unsure what he had agreed to. But knowing he had no choice, she turned to leave, her long legs moving gracefully through the chaos. The human stumbled to keep up, feeling tiny, weak, and out of place. But there was something different now, something he could not explain. Hope, maybe, or the strange feeling that his life was about to change forever as they moved through the market. Traders whispered behind their backs, some afraid, some curious, others angry that a human had been taken, The girl ignored them all, focused entirely on the human and the path ahead. The human glanced around, noticing the dangers, the towering guards, the alien predators in cages. The market was a world he had never known, full of danger, mystery, and opportunity. But for the first time, he felt a strange sense of possibility. He stumbled slightly, and she reached out, steadying him. "Watch your step," she said, and he realized how strong she truly was, not just in muscle, but in command, presence, and will. Her gaze met his again, unwavering, and he felt a shiver run down his spine. Somewhere deep inside, he knew this was only the beginning. The human who had once been worthless, caged, and ignored, was now thrust into a world of aliens, power, and unimaginable challenges. And at the center of it all was this mysterious, muscular, and breathtaking alien girl. Her fist had shattered the cage, but it had also shattered the limits of his life. The market faded behind them as they moved into the alien city, tension still thick in the air. The human could not help but wonder, what had he gotten himself into? And would he survive what was coming next? The human stumbled after the alien girl, still stunned by the cage-breaking display. His mind raced, trying to process everything he had just witnessed. The market faded behind them, but danger lingered. Traders shouted and cursed, their voices echoing in the air, some still trying to follow, hoping to reclaim what they considered property. The alien girl moved with purpose, her muscles rippling with each step. She navigated the crowded streets like a predator, observing every corner, every passerby, her eyes sharp, scanning for threats. The human tried to keep up, his small frame awkward among towering alien shoppers and merchants. "You must stay close," she said, not looking back. "Do not stray. Do not trust anyone, not even those who smile at you." The human nodded, swallowing hard, fear mingled with curiosity. He had no choice but to obey, and somehow he felt safer with her than anywhere else he had been. They turned into a narrow alley, the walls high and covered with strange alien glyphs that glowed faintly in the dim light. "We need a plan," she said quietly. "The traders will not give up easily. They have powerful enforcers, weapons, and connections. Escaping this city will not be simple." The human's heart pounded. I can help," he said hesitantly. "I may not be strong, but I can think. I can find ways to trick them or distract them." She glanced at him, her glowing eyes piercing, then smirked slightly. "Cleverness can be useful. For once, you might be worth more than a snack." They crouched behind crates filled with alien fruits, observing the patrols. Their eyes followed every movement, every flicker of shadow. The human noticed patterns, the timing of guards, the way merchants exchanged secret signals. He whispered his observations, and she nodded, approving his sharp mind. Suddenly, a shout rang out from the far end of the alley. One of the trader's enforcers had spotted movement. The human froze, adrenaline surging. The alien girl's hand shot out, pulling him behind a glowing container. "Stay quiet, or they will see you," she hissed. The enforcer stalked closer, scanning the alley, claws tapping the ground, sensors glowing on his armor. The human held his breath, every muscle tense. The alien girl stepped slightly in front of him, her presence alone radiating strength. The enforcer hesitated, unsure whether to challenge her. Then she acted, moving with impossible speed, snatching a small container, hurling it to the far side. The clang echoed loudly, drawing the enforcer's attention. He turned instantly, running toward the noise, giving them precious seconds. "Move," she commanded, and the human sprinted after her, dodging shadows, leaping over alien debris, hearts pounding, feet slapping against uneven streets. The city blurred around them, a chaotic mix of color, noise, and alien life. They ducked into an abandoned transport tunnel, dark and narrow, the smell of oil and machinery thick in the air. They stopped to catch their breath. the human gasping. Are we safe? He whispered, his body trembling from fear and exertion. For now, she replied, scanning the tunnel. But safety is temporary. The traitors will send more. They will not forget this humiliation. They will hunt you and me. We need to leave the city entirely. She led him deeper into the tunnels, past glowing pipes and abandoned tech, explaining a rough escape plan. We head to the northern gates, avoid patrol drones, and use the river route to leave the city. It is dangerous, but faster than following the main roads. You must trust me completely. The human nodded, swallowing fear. Every instinct screamed at him to run away, but he sensed she was the only one who could guide him. I will follow, he said, trying to sound confident, though his voice shook. As they approached the first checkpoint, a sudden shadow fell over them. 2 guards blocked the tunnel, weapons drawn. The human froze, trapped, heart racing, but the alien girl smiled. Faintly, muscles coiled, ready to strike. Do not move, she said calmly, or you will regret it. The guards hesitated. Uncertain of her strength, the human watched in awe as she stepped forward, fists ready, radiating power and confidence. The guards glanced at each other nervously, then slowly stepped aside, realizing they could not challenge her. Breathing heavily, the human followed her through the checkpoint, relief washing over him. But the tension did not leave. He knew the traitors would escalate. He knew the danger was far from over. And yet, he felt a strange spark of hope, knowing that someone as strong and fearless as her was watching his back. As they exited into the northern outskirts, the city's glow fading behind them, the human realized that escaping the cage was only the beginning. The true challenge had just started. Survival, trust, and cleverness would all be tested in the days ahead. And as the alien girl glanced at him, eyes glowing softly, a faint smile on her lips, he understood one truth. He was no longer just a captive. He was now part of a dangerous, unpredictable, and extraordinary journey. The escape plan was set, but would it be enough to outrun hunters, betrayal, and the unknown perils of an alien world? Only time would tell. The human and the alien girl moved cautiously through the outskirts of the city. Shadows stretched long across the cracked streets, the glow of distant neon signs flickering. The market chaos was behind them, but danger lingered. In every corner, they were not yet safe, and the traitors' enforcers could appear at any moment. The human glanced at her, still in disbelief. Why are you helping me? He whispered, voice trembling. She didn't answer immediately. Her glowing eyes scanned the surroundings, muscles tense, ready for any attack. Finally, she said softly, you are not just a savage human. There is something in you. Something useful. Something clever. You might survive when others would fail. The human felt a mix of pride and fear. He had never been called useful, and yet her words were unsettling. He wondered if she truly trusted him, or if she was just keeping him alive for her own amusement. They ducked into a narrow tunnel beneath an abandoned bridge. Strange alien glyphs glowed faintly on the walls, casting eerie shadows. The human shivered, half from cold, half from unease. This world was strange, full of danger, and yet he had no choice but to follow her. Suddenly, a low growl echoed from deeper in the tunnel. The human froze, muscles stiff, heart pounding. A creature emerged from the shadows, glowing eyes, sharp claws, and teeth that gleamed in the dim light. The alien girl stepped in front of him, fists clenched, ready to strike. Stay behind me, she ordered, voice calm but firm. The human obeyed, stepping back, every nerve on fire. The creature lunged, and she moved with lightning speed, dodging its attack and landing a punch that sent it crashing into the wall. Sparks flew, the creature groaned, and the human's mouth fell open. In awe, do you see now? She asked, wiping her hand. Strength alone is not enough. You must watch, learn, and think if you survive. It will be because of your mind as much as your body. The human nodded, realizing that she was not just protecting him, but training him, testing him, preparing him for something bigger. Hours passed as they navigated the underground tunnels, avoiding patrol drones and alien scouts. The human's instincts sharpened. His eyes caught patterns in movement, a timing of guards. The slightest vibrations in the ground, each observation could mean life or death. And she noticed his cleverness, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "You are learning quickly," she said. "Not many humans could survive here, not without being crushed, and yet you manage. Step by step, you adapt. That is rare. That is why I keep you close." The human's chest tightened. He felt a strange sense of pride, but also a heavy weight, knowing that any mistake could be fatal. Then came the first real test. They entered a canyon where the traders had set a trap. Energy nets hovered in the air, ready to activate if disturbed. Surveillance drones hovered, scanning for movement. The human froze, unsure how to proceed. "Think," she whispered. Her hand on his shoulder. "Observe, don't act recklessly. Every step must be precise." He studied the nets, noting the timing of the pulses, the blinking sensors, his mind racing to find a pattern. "We go when the third pulse ends," he said, pointing. She nodded, a glint of approval in her glowing eyes. Together, they moved, step by step, the human following her lead, but also anticipating obstacles. The tension was suffocating, every sound amplified, every shadow a potential threat. Then, as they reached the end of the canyon, a drone detected movement and alarms blared. The human's pulse skyrocketed, but she grabbed his arm, pulling him into a shadow. They waited, barely breathing. As the drone circled, scanning, the human felt panic rise, but she whispered, "Steady, stay calm. You can outthink them." And somehow, with his mind sharp and her strength guiding him, they slipped past, unseen, emerging into a forest of alien plants. The human finally exhaled, heart still racing. "You did well," she said, her voice softer now. "Not perfect, but clever enough to survive." He glanced at her, unsure how to respond. A bond was forming, fragile but real, between the savage human and the muscular alien warrior. As they settled for a brief rest under glowing alien trees, he realized something startling. "You really mean it when you said I'm your future husband?" She chuckled lightly, muscles flexing as she smiled. "Time will tell," she replied, teasing yet serious. "But you are not as worthless as you seem." The human stared into the alien sky, stars twinkling through the glowing foliage, feeling both hope and fear. This journey was just beginning. The bond between them, reluctant as it was, would be tested by dangers beyond anything he had imagined, and by enemies who would stop at nothing to reclaim him. As they prepared to move deeper into the alien wilderness, the human understood one truth. Survival here would not be easy. Trust would be tested, and the line between ally and enemy was thin. Yet for the first time in his life, he felt a spark of courage, fueled by the presence of the alien girl. The reluctant bond had begun, and with it the adventure, danger, and challenges that lay ahead would shape him into someone more than just a savage. The alien wilderness stretched endlessly before them, glowing plants swaying gently in the faint wind. The human felt small and fragile among towering flora and strange creatures. His muscles ached from the long escape, but he knew he had to keep moving. The alien girl led the way, her every step confident, purposeful, and alert. "You will not survive if you remain weak," she said sharply, her glowing eyes fixed on him. "Strength alone will not save you, nor cleverness alone. You need both. And you need to learn fast." The human swallowed hard, his heart pounding, fear and excitement mixing. He had never trained like this, never faced challenges like these. The first task was simple in theory, but deadly in execution. She pointed to a steep cliff jagged rocks and alien vines hanging dangerously. "Climb," she commanded. "Reach the top without touching the ground, or you will fail." The human glanced down at the dark, rocky terrain, realizing a single mistake could be fatal. With trembling hands, he began the climb, his fingers slipping on the alien vines. Each movement required focus, precision, and courage. The alien girl watched silently, correcting his posture, guiding him subtly without touching. The human realized she was not just training his body, but his mind as well. After hours of climbing, dodging falling rocks, and narrowly avoiding sharp alien spikes, the human reached the top, bruised but triumphant. The alien girl nodded, approving his effort. "Not bad," she said, "but strength alone is meaningless if you cannot think under pressure." She gestured to a narrow ledge above a chasm. "Your next challenge is speed and wit." He followed her instructions, leaping across narrow platforms, timing each jump carefully, using observation, memory, and instinct. He realized his survival depended not only on strength, but on understanding patterns, predicting movement, and trusting himself. Then came the creatures, alien beasts with sharp claws and glowing eyes. They emerged from the jungle with unnatural speed, circling the training area. The human froze, heart pounding. The alien girl smiled faintly. "Remember what I told you. Fear will not help. Observation will." She moved first, dodging and striking with precision. Her muscles coiled like springs, each movement lethal yet controlled. The human watched, then mimicked, learning when to dodge, when to strike. Each attempt brought him closer to understanding the rhythm of the creatures. The forest echoed with growls, shouts, and the sound of feet hitting the ground. Hours passed like minutes, sweat dripping, muscles trembling. The human felt himself changing, stronger, sharper, more aware. The alien girl nodded occasionally, approving silently. Her eyes shone with pride, though she would never admit it outright. Suddenly, a trap activated, hidden in the alien foliage. A net fell from above, threatening to ensnare them both. The human hesitated, then remembered her lessons. He pushed forward, rolling under the net, dodging its edges, heart racing. He barely escaped. The alien girl landed beside him, muscles flexed, eyes glowing. "Clever," she said, almost with admiration. "Quick thinking will keep you alive more than brute strength. Remember this." The human nodded, breath coming in ragged gasps. A bond of trust and respect was forming, fragile but real. Night fell, painting the sky with alien stars. They rested near a glowing river, wounds aching, but spirits alive. The alien girl handed him water, watching him carefully. "Tomorrow, the challenge will be harder. The traders will not stop hunting you, and the dangers of this world are just beginning." The human looked at her, realizing he had survived because of her guidance, her strength. Skill and teaching had given him tools he never had. Yet he knew the road ahead was long, filled with enemies, traps, and tests of both mind and body. As he drifted into uneasy sleep, he thought about the words she had once said, "That savage is my future husband." They had seemed strange at first, but now he understood. He was no longer just a captive, just a savage. He was becoming someone capable, someone who could survive, perhaps even thrive. The alien girl watched over him silently, her glowing eyes scanning the forest, alert to every movement. The bond between them had grown stronger, formed in sweat, fear, and survival. And as the distant sounds of alien predators echoed through the trees, both knew that tomorrow would test them more than today. But the human was ready, in body, mind, and spirit. And the adventure, dangerous as it was, continued to unfold. The alien wilderness had grown darker, shadows stretching longer across the strange, glowing plants. The human followed the alien girl cautiously, every step measured, his senses alert. After the grueling training, he was stronger, quicker, But the forest was unpredictable, full of hidden dangers. "I feel eyes on us," he whispered, glancing at every flicker of movement. The alien girl's glowing eyes narrowed, scanning the trees and underbrush. "You are who are—" "Not wrong," she said, voice low. "Not all who wander these lands are our friends. Some seek the human you are. Others seek to test me." Suddenly, a rustle behind them made them both freeze. Muscles tensed, claws flexing, ready for attack. Out of the shadows emerged an alien figure, sleek, tall, with dark iridescent skin and glowing red eyes. "You must come with me," the figure said smoothly. "The traders sent me. They want their property back." The human's stomach sank, realization hitting him. They found us?" he whispered, fear tight in his chest. The alien girl stepped in front of him, fists clenched, muscles coiled. "No one takes him while I stand," she said sharply, her voice like steel, sending a shiver through the intruder. The alien figure smirked, circling them slowly. "You think you can defy the traders alone? That human is mine to reclaim. He has value beyond your imagination." The tension thickened. The human felt trapped, heart pounding, unsure what to do. A sudden noise, a snapping branch made all three turn. Then another figure appeared from the trees, a second alien, identical in skill and intent, weapons drawn, eyes glowing, ready to strike. "A trap," the human muttered under his breath. Adrenaline surging, the alien girl's eyes flickered, her jaw tightening. Without hesitation, she lunged forward, fists striking with explosive power. The two intruders reacted instantly, attacking together, claws slashing, energy weapons sparking. The human ducked behind a glowing rock, heart racing, realizing he had to think quickly. Or die. He remembered the lessons she had taught him. Patterns, timing, observation, and clever moves. Spotting a fallen alien device nearby, he grabbed it, activating a small flash that blinded one of the attackers. The alien girl used the distraction, moving like lightning, striking the second with precise force, sending it sprawling. The human's courage grew, though fear still gripped him. Together, they fought, dodging, striking, and moving through the thick alien underbrush, every moment a life or death struggle. Sweat and blood mixing with dirt and alien foliage. Finally, the attackers retreated, realizing they could not win against the pair. But the threat was not gone, merely delayed. The alien girl glared into the shadows, warning growl escaping her lips. "They will be back, stronger, smarter, with more allies. We cannot rest." Human exhaled shakily, still trembling. I didn't know I could do that," he admitted, awe and fear in his voice. She glanced at him, eyes glowing softly. "Cleverness and courage can be more dangerous than strength alone. You are learning, and that makes you dangerous to our enemies." They moved deeper into the alien forest, silent but vigilant. The human noticed subtle changes. Flickers of light, movement in the underbrush. Every sound became a potential threat, every shadow a possible trap. Night fell fully, the forest alive with alien sounds, strange calls, and glowing eyes watching from the darkness. They set up a small camp, the alien girl keeping watch while the human rested, muscles aching, mind still alert. "You trust me," she said finally, voice quieter now, almost human in tone. "But the world around us does not. And betrayal comes not only from enemies, but from allies who pretend to be friends." The human nodded, understanding the weight of her words. The lessons of survival were not over, and the stakes had just grown higher. In the darkness, he thought of the traitors, the intruders, and the alien girl's declaration that he was her future husband. Every piece of his old life felt distant, replaced by danger, training, and a strange bond growing between them. Tomorrow would bring more challenges, more tests of skill and trust, and in the shadows, hidden eyes watched them, plotting, waiting, and calculating their next move. The betrayal was not over, and the forest whispered warnings of danger yet to come. Dawn broke over the alien forest, painting the glowing trees in hues of gold and violet. The human rubbed his eyes, exhaustion still heavy, but alertness sharpened. He knew today would be dangerous, perhaps more dangerous than anything he had faced. The alien girl moved silently beside him, muscles tensed, every step measured. "They are coming," she said softly, eyes scanning the forest. "The traders and their allies know we are nearby. They will strike soon, and we must be ready." The human's heart pounded, adrenaline surging, every sense alert, aware of the slightest rustle. Shadow or sound suddenly. From the underbrush, figures emerged, dozens of armed alien enforcers, their glowing weapons primed, eyes scanning, claws twitching, ready to strike. The human froze for a moment and remembered her lessons, observation. First, strike later. Survival depends on awareness. The alien girl stepped forward, fists clenched, her glowing eyes radiating power. "We fight smart, not just hard," she whispered. "Follow me and trust your instincts." The human nodded, courage mixing with fear, every step calculated, every movement precise. The first wave charged, claws and weapons flashing. The human dodged instinctively, his mind racing for patterns in their attack. He noticed gaps, predictable movements, weaknesses, and whispered observations to the alien girl, who adjusted her strikes accordingly. Together, they moved like a single unit, brains and brawn intertwined. She struck first, taking down a massive enforcer with a single punch, muscles flexing as he flew into a tree, sparks of alien tech flying from his weapon. The human followed, using his mind to distract. Another, throwing debris, creating openings. Each attack was deadly, precise, yet careful. Suddenly, a hidden drone activated above, scanning for heat signatures. The human froze, then remembered a glowing plant nearby. He kicked it, causing a burst of spores that blinded the drone. She struck the next wave with ruthless precision, while he created more distractions, learning to combine his cleverness with her strength. Hours passed like minutes, the battle flowing between trees, rocks, and glowing alien terrain. Enemies fell, retreated, then regrouped. The human and the alien girl never paused, their trust growing with every maneuver, every calculated risk. Then, from the shadows, the rival alien from before appeared, wielding a long, glowing weapon, faster and stronger than any they had faced. "You cannot win," he hissed, moving with lethal grace. The human's pulse skyrocketed, but she whispered, "Think, outthink him." The human noticed a pattern in the rival's movements, slight hesitation before each strike, and a predictable recovery sequence. Using that knowledge, he called out, "Now." She struck simultaneously, exploiting the opening, and the rival was knocked off balance, giving them the upper hand. Finally, the last of the enforcers retreated, leaving the human and alien girl standing, bruised, bleeding, but victorious. Her muscles still flexed, eyes glowing as she surveyed the battlefield. "Clever and strong," she said softly, almost with approval. "That combination makes you dangerous, human. Dangerous enough to survive in my world," the human stumbled, chest heaving, adrenaline fading into exhaustion. We did it?" he asked, disbelief and pride in his voice. She smiled faintly. "Surviving is just the beginning. Every battle will test you further. You will need to grow even stronger, faster, smarter." They moved to a high vantage point, surveying the alien forest, the distant city visible in glowing lights. "Tomorrow," she said, "we move closer to the trader's central hub. We gather information, prepare for the final confrontation, and ensure that no one can claim you again." The human realized how far he had come, from a scared, chained captive to someone capable of surviving deadly attacks, outthinking, observing, and acting with courage. And yet, he knew the final challenge awaited. larger and more dangerous than anything they had faced. As night fell again, the human and alien girl set camp, their bond stronger than ever, trust forged in battle, respect earned through danger. And in the darkness, unseen eyes watched, plotting, waiting for the moment to strike again. The true test was coming, and they would need every skill, every ounce of wit and strength to survive the final confrontation. The alien city sprawled before them, glowing towers piercing the twilight sky. The human's chest tightened, nerves buzzing with anticipation and fear. After weeks of running, training, and surviving deadly attacks, the final confrontation awaited. He glanced at the alien girl, her glowing eyes fierce yet calm, every muscle tense and ready. "This is it," she said softly, voice steady. "The Trader's Hub. Where they plan, where they control, we strike. Smart, strike fast, and ensure you are free, once and for all." The human nodded, swallowing hard, knowing the stakes could not be higher. They slipped through shadows, avoiding patrols, the air thick with tension. Every corner held potential enemies, every flicker of light a threat. He had learned to watch, to anticipate, to think ahead, but the city was vast and unpredictable. Suddenly, alarms blared, red lights flashing across the towers. Their movement had been detected. The human froze, panic threatening to take over. But she grabbed his arm, steadying him. "Stay calm. Trust me. Your cleverness is as vital as my strength." The first wave of guards appeared, advanced weapons glowing, claws sharpened, ready to strike. The alien girl moved like lightning, fists smashing, bodies flying, while the human used distractions, traps, and quick thinking to manipulate the battlefield. Every action precise, synchronized, a deadly dance. Then, at the heart of the hub, the traders appeared, flanked by elite enforcers, their eyes glowing with greed and fury. "You dare defy us?" one shouted, pointing at the human. "He belongs to us." The alien girl stepped forward, jaw tight. "He belongs to no one but himself, and I choose him." The human's pulse raced, adrenaline flooding his veins. The final fight erupted, chaos and sparks flying, fists and claws striking with brutal precision. The human dodged, observed, and acted, his mind sharper than ever, manipulating openings, creating diversions, saving both himself and the alien girl. Hours passed like minutes, enemies falling, retreating, regrouping. Then the rival, alien from before, appeared, glowing weapon raised, faster and more dangerous than ever. "This ends now," he snarled, charging at them. The human spotted a pattern, a slight delay before the rival struck, and whispered, "Now." The alien girl struck simultaneously, exploiting the opening, her strength unmatched, sending the rival crashing into a control panel. Sparks flying, systems failing, the hub shook, alarms screeching. But the final enemy had fallen. Defeated by brains and brawn combined, silence fell, broken only by distant alarms and the crackling of damaged tech. The human and alien girl stood, bruised, bloodied, but victorious, her chest heaving, glowing, eyes scanning the area. "You survived," she said softly, almost tenderly. "Clever, strong, and brave. You are no longer a savage. You are mine to protect, and together we can face anything." The human blinked, overwhelmed, disbelief and relief mixing. "You really mean it?" he whispered, voice shaking. She smiled, muscles relaxed slightly, eyes warm but still glowing. "You are my future husband," she said firmly, and for the first time he felt hope, trust, and belonging together. They walked through the alien city, the defeated trader's hub behind them, victory hard-earned but real. The human looked at the glowing towers, the strange alien technology, the vast world ahead, and realized how far he had come. From a chained captive to a survivor, a clever fighter, a partner to a powerful alien. Yet even in triumph, the forest and city whispered dangers yet to come, unseen eyes observing, plotting. But for now, the human was free, his bond with the alien girl solidified. And their journey, though far from over, was strengthened by trust, courage, and shared struggle. As they vanished into the twilight, ready to face the unknown, the human understood something profound. His life had been shattered and rebuilt. The savage had grown into something more, and with her by his side, he could confront anything. The city lights faded behind them, but the bond, the adventure, and the promise of a future together blazed brighter than any alien tower. The human and the alien girl had survived, conquered, and claimed their destiny.